Hi, I'm Savannah Smith. I'm a 2026. I play for SoCal Choppers Fausett 14U, and I am on Fast Pitch Films Follow Through. We are currently in Anaheim, California for the PGF shootout. Fast Pitch Films came to watch me. I like playing shortstop because I like to talk on the field. I like communicating and helping my pitcher out a lot. I feel like shortstops help me with quick hands so I can play third base, and also read the ball really good so I can play second base. So it helps with playing multiple positions. Outfield, if I know I need to go make a dive, I can do that easily.
She is a shortstop by heart, but loves to move over to the other side and play second base and turn the double play, as long as flip some balls over to first base, and as well as learning a little bit of third base.
My best quality is my quick hands and quick feet.
I definitely think it is her glove. Her glove has carried her a long way since a young age. Great feet, quick hands, understanding when to make certain plays, whether it's a rake through or a forehand or charging the ball. She recognizes the ball off the bat very well, and very smooth. And things that I try to teach her, she picks up very quickly. A really strong part of Savannah's game is, the throw over to first. I can't remember her last throwing error. It could be 2-3 years ago.
I look up to Sis Bates. She's a really good shortstop. She makes all these quick plays, and she has very good knowledge of the game. So I like to learn from her and get all these details from her. I just tell myself to expect the ball. It's going to be hit to me. I go through all the plays in my head, like what I need to do before. I feel I stand out pretty well. I have a lot of different qualities that other people might not have. I charge the ball and can cut it off before it gets to me. That really helps me out personally. So I think I stand out that way, and I also have a lot of range.
My favorite Savannah moment is probably late in 12U. She had a very bad high ankle sprain, and it was 2 weeks before PGF, and watching her battle to get back on the field for PGF was a big moment for her and I, just to watch her go through that, and then having a very successful PGF, not only with her team, but personally having a successful PGF after a high ankle sprain. It shows a lot about her character and her willingness to get back on the field.
So Savannah's a lot of fun. She seems to be the center of attention when you get to know her. She's a big goofball. She likes everybody to have a good time. She's going to be that teammate that's going to lift you up, and she can be very comical at times, but she can also be very serious. And if you take the time to listen, she'll help walk you through where you need to improve in a positive manner so that they can have a better outcome. That's Savannah to me. She's always trying to pick up a teammate. She's always trying to pick up her sister. Like, she's very positive, and she's a motivator. I could see her being a coach one day. I think she'd be really good at it.
I don't really have a lot of free time. I'm always somewhere with softball.
She's a reflection of many good qualities, because that's something that was very important to us as parents for her to have. And it's both her and her sister that we have these high expectations for. So she better carry it into the classroom. She better carry it to the field, wherever she goes. That's our expectations for the girls, to just be good humans and carry those good quality traits.
I play softball because ever since I was little, I've loved the game, and I just continue to grow and love it. I love the competition it brings, and I'm really competitive myself, so it just brings out the competitiveness in me.
I've seen her grow tremendously. There were a lot of struggles in her youth. She was always the smallest kid on her team, but she was always on competitive teams, where I think she had to work on having a stronger bat often, and there's a lot of development that's happened up to this point, and I think she's taking that in positive strides rather than just letting it defeat her or overcome her. So it's very awesome to see where she's at. She's worked very hard to get to this point. She's a hard out always. She's definitely a grinder. She's not going to let her team down. But sometimes it's nice to be the underdog, to prove all that you can on your own behalf, because only she can do the work and get the job done. That's what's tough about softball.
Yeah, I feel really thankful that my parents are supportive of me, because it's hard. It's a mental sport, and if they're not, then it's just gonna make like everything harder, and makes me want to go further for them and for me. So
I think mainly it's just after the games, giving her a big hug and letting her know that whether it was a good day or a bad day, that it doesn't define her as a person.
I play against all the people that are ranked, and I feel like I stand out pretty high against them. I feel like I can compete. If I were one-to-one, I can compete. For my academics, I really like to keep my grades up. It helps with my confidence in sports, especially because you need that to move on to the next level. I keep a grade average of 4.0.
Yes, I do coach a 10 under team right now, and having Savanna out there is great. A lot of these young girls look up to her. They think she's great. She is a role model. She's a role model to all these girls. She's doing things with them just outside of softball. She's seeing them, and they're seeing her, the way she goes about her days, whether it's schoolwork, on the side, putting in work, hitting in the cages, going to the field, getting her defensive work in. They're seeing that, and they're learning from it. And just seeing her on the field with me and being able to relay the same messages that I've relayed to her is pretty cool to see. And watching these little kids listen to her, it's really awesome.
It's been really fun helping my dad coach my younger sister's team. I like to help them out because I understand the game and I understand what they're going through along with it. So it's really fun to help them out, and I love being beside my dad because the love for we have the game just goes really far in our friendship and our bond. So it helps a lot. It is very different. It is very different being a coach than a player because in the game you have so many more things you're thinking about and what to do. Sometimes the mental side of the game gets to you, so it's harder.
I think she's grown through the game. I think outside of softball, most of all, she's just learning how to deal with all the demanding stuff that comes along with it, the long practices, coming home and have a lot of homework after maybe a night at the cages or a day at the field. I think it's just making her a very strong individual outside of softball. And the leadership skills on the field, I think, have kind of always been there. She kind of just leads by example as a hard worker. Even if it's not a great day, she's constantly working hard on the next play or the next at bat to do her best.
The advice I'd give to younger players is to keep on going, stay strong. You can do it. It's hard, but it'll get easier.
She's a quiet kid, but once you get to know her, she's a jokester, but definitely carries herself very quietly. Is a very humble kid, doesn't get distracted by the outside things, and really carries herself in a professional manner at a young age. And it's, as a father, it's good to see. Very proud of her as she, at 14 years old, the way she carries herself.
We're always playing better teams. That helps us. Like if we make a mistake, we learn from it, get better from that. I really like how that type of push helps us.
Definitely looking for a good D1 school with great academics. I think at the end of the day, it's what you're doing when you're done with softball, and I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to make great money. So if you could find yourself in an Ivy League school, that'd be great. A Division I school like Stanford, um, you know, I think that kind of stuff is what we're looking for Savannah, and I think she's looking for it for herself because she understands that she's going to have a family one day, and um, just going and playing for a school that's all about softball, might not be for every kid. It might not be for her. Education definitely is high on hers and our priority. Um, but hey, if Oklahoma comes knocking at the door and an Ivy school's not, you jump on that right away. And then after that, I could see Savannah doing a little bit of coaching, whether it's at the high school level or the college level, or just a young travel team, on her side time. I could see her definitely doing that.
I think my best quality as a teammate is I'm always talking to them. I'm always pumping them up.
She's a great big sister, a great role model for her little sister, and her little sister's following right behind her. I can't say enough about her work habits on the softball field and off the softball field. That's what I'm most proud of. Just how hard the kid works and is never afraid to go the extra hour to get better.
I have short-term goals and long-term goals. Some of my short-term goals, and I just accomplished one. I made varsity as a freshman. And I would really like to be a 4-year varsity athlete. My long-term goal is to get to a D1 college and play 4 years there.
In Savannah's future, if anybody's looking to recruit this kid, I think they're going to get a great character kid and somebody who just works really, really hard on and off the field. I know all these girls are working super hard, so it's something I've always taught Savannah that don't be mad at a girl if she's really good at softball because she's putting in the same work as you. Support her, and I'm sure you'll get that same support back from others.
I'm from Santa Clarita, California, and I go to Saugus High School. If you guys would like to follow my softball journey, follow me at Savannah Smith 08.